Hey, it's Adam at The Pursuit Counseling. Today I'm back with another video, and we're going to talk about high school students, young adults, and the pressures that they're under. In my career, I've worked at a university, used to work at Savannah College of Art and Design. Over there, I worked at everything from student counseling and career services, disability services. I also worked in student life, housing, residence life, student conduct. I spent 3 years there, and it was some of the most enjoyable times of my life as a professional working with students. But I also remember what it was like to be a high school student, college student, graduate student. And the demands for students, whether you're in high school, college, or graduate school, those like the demands are a lot more than what they were even over 20 years ago. So let's start talking about academic pressure. In the area of Georgia that I'm in Fayette County, we have some of the most amazing high schools. We truly do. We're ranked in, I think, the top two or three counties in Georgia, and our students are under a lot of academic pressure. A lot of times they're saying that Georgia Tech or in UGA are fallback options if they don't get into MIT and any of the Ivy League schools, because our students are looking to work for SpaceX, Microsoft, Facebook. And the students that might not be ready for that, or if their skill sets are very different and maybe they need to go for a trade, a lot of times the people that could be the next plumber, the next electrician, the next home builder, they feel like they're lost in the shuffle. And so parents, please like talk to your kids about how not getting into MIT is not failure, or if you do get into MIT, that's amazing, but that doesn't have to be the benchmark for measuring what success is. Some areas to work on the academic pressure, just from a mental health perspective. Working with a therapist or anyone on learning time management skills, reducing heavy workloads if possible. Those things can be really, really helpful. And actually talking with your students about the stress that they're under, because they're getting pressure from their classmates, their teachers, the administrators, coaches, and maybe even from you on how if they don't get into the Ivy League school or their fallback school, that they're gonna, they might feel like they're failing. Where the next home builder, the next plumber, next electrician, or just being an excellent teammate at in an office environment, that can be measured as success. Um, not to compare with the other as being success or this not being successful. So please, let's reframe the academic pressure that our students are under, so that their mental health and that their future is not necessarily seen as a negative thing if they don't reach that a lot of times unrealistic goal. Um, Up next, let's talk about social pressures. Social pressures. So navigating social dynamics. I mean, 20 years ago, we didn't have Facebook. I was a freshman in college the year that Facebook was invented, and since then, there's been a lot of pressure about what your image is like on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Facebook is now the old people thing. The kids are not on it. Professionally, LinkedIn, there's a lot of pressure. You have to be engaged all the time on all of these things. And as a business owner, like I'm feeling the pressure to be engaged on every social media outlet that's out there. But imagine our kids who are not able to think about the difference between short term and long term decision making, the things that they're putting on social media because of the pressure that they have from their peers and from these influencers, that they're not able to think about the consequences of their decisions. So talking with a therapist or having an ally like a therapist that can help you as well as your student navigate these pressures can be very helpful. Up next, let's talk about extracurricular activities. Myself, when I was in high school, I was a two sport athlete. Played basketball and baseball, and did that at a very, very high level. And the pressure that I was under, not only to be a leader on my team, but also to be a leader in the classroom with making great grades. Being one of the people that was leading our team, not only in the performance, the number of points scored, the number of RBIs that I had to hit for our team to win or to have a chance at winning. That was a lot of pressure. And so having someone that is not the coach, that is not the teacher, someone that doesn't have skin in the game can be really, really helpful at actually helping your student reach their full potential. If the student knows that their therapist doesn't need anything from them, we can actually be the ones that help them perform better because they're not letting us down if they struggle, because they're going to be more open to talking about their struggles as opposed to the people that their jobs are reliant on it. If your kid doesn't perform, the coach's job could be on the line. So the coach might be putting their stress on the kid's stress. A lot of people don't like to talk about that, but it is something that needs to be talked about, and that your student does need that third party that doesn't have skin in the game being able to help them navigate that. And then also, I want to talk with you just a little bit about future uncertainty. Um, the average college student, I was just doing this research the other day, the average college student changes their major 3 times officially. That means that they go to the registrar's office and they say, I am changing from this major to that major. In a 4-year time period, they changed their major 3 times. And I saw a staggering number. I believe it was over 60% of people are not actually using their degree in their profession. And so, like, the pressure that everybody feels about making sure that they have the right job or right degree in order to get the right job is something like that we might not even be using our degree. Fortunately for myself, I did choose a master's degree that I knew I wanted to go into that career, but the number of clients that I have that are in their mid-20s to 30s, most of them are not using their degrees. And so we need to really look at that future uncertainty about where they're going to be. And we need to focus on teaching them the soft skills, the social skills, being able to do sales, being able to relate with other people, even if they're different from them in terms of areas of interest. So I hope that these things are helpful for you. So just to review a little bit, academic pressures. Let's reset the expectation to be away from having that high level of MIT. The people that know that they're going to get into MIT, they're already motivated. We don't need to motivate them anymore. Also, social pressures. Social media is something that male, female, we all need to be focused in on the pressure for social media. Extracurricular activities. It is good to be outside of the classroom academically, doing social things, whether it's band, whether it's theater, whether it's a sport, whether it's a game club, whatever it is important to be in extracurricular activities because that does help us become more well-rounded. But especially for those that are higher performing people, being able to help with perspective of what it looks like. I believe it is only 3% of student athletes in high school that go to college, and I believe it's even 1% of college athletes that do make it into the pros. In the comments, please check me on these figures. I'm trying to remember specifically what they were. So so do check me in the comments on that. And then also future uncertainty. A lot of people are not using their degrees unless they're specialized degrees, maybe a master's degree, a PhD, a MD. or a JD for lawyers that want to become judges, right? If people want to become a judge, they know that's what they want to do. But the average person, they do change their major a lot. So I know I'm kind of rambling today, just talking about student pressure. So what can we do? At the Pursuit Counseling, we're licensed in Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, a lot of the places in the Southeast. We do have licenses there, and we'll make sure that you get connected with the right therapist for you. And we are committed that if you're not in one of these states and you do want to get connected with a therapist, we would be honored to help you with get that connection. And we're here to help you. We do virtual sessions as well as in person. And so, if you, the parent, need help with your student, we can work with you from the parenting perspective, but also working with your students could be very helpful because these four things that we talked about are things that they're dealing with on a daily basis. I'm Adam Glendie with the Pursuit Counseling. And as always, I love having these conversations with you on YouTube.